Hey, hello friends. Welcome to our channel SAP SD and ABAP League Support. In our previous sessions, we discussed about the Solman Solution Manager. We know that in Solman we have different functionalities available, like we can maintain the documentation for FS, TS, test document, or any configuration documents. And Solman can be used to maintain for test suites. So testing, scripts creation, and maintaining the results also possible in Solman. And ITSM, the ticketing tool where we can create that defects for any kind of issues requirements. Similar way, it can be used to create the alert mechanism in the system. If any job failure happens, or if you want to set in a reminder for any kind of issues, everything can be configured in Solman. Likewise, we have one more functionality, that is change management. This is one of the important functionality available in Solman. With help of this change request management, we can create the new requirements. I mean, not we means the business users will create the requirement request in this change request tool. So there are different tools are available. For example, ALM tools like ServiceNow, Jira, GitHub. So these tools are used to create the defects and create the new requirement, change request enhancements. But with help of this Solman product, we can do that requirement creation as well. So in my project, we are using the Solman, and whenever in case of any new requirements, the business people or the user will try to create an request here in this tool, change request management. So today we will see how to create that one request for any kind of requirement. So I am logged into this Solman, and you see here there is one Fury app available here, that is change and release management. Just click this one. So in my system, it's asking to select the business roles, but in your system, it might not ask. Okay, so I'm going with the requester role. Okay, fine. So this is the home page of this app, change request and release management. So here we need to create one new ticket or new requirement task. So for this, what I will do, I'll go to this, you see, focused build. Just click this one, and here we have an option called request for change. Okay, click this one, request for change. And if we scroll down here, we have an option that is new. Click on this new, and it's opening one more window. So here we have different type of transaction types are available, like S1CR, request for change, SMCR, again same description, request for change, S1RK, risk, S1TR, task request, ZMCR, Z request for change. So SAP provided a few standard transaction types. If you want, you can also create custom transaction types as per our need. And I will explain you in detail about what this transaction type, how it can be used. As of now, I am going with the first one, S1CR. So it is nothing but if you want to correlate this one with our SAP SD means, you know, when we try to create a sales order, we enter the sales document type. So this transaction type is nothing but document type here. Fine. So after selecting the S1CR transaction type, it will open one more window. You see here the heading is request for change, that is RFC, and system will propose one number for that RFC, and it is status new. Okay, so if you observe this window here, we have different status under status overview. The first one is created, the second is validation, to be approved, rejected, external scope, approved, being implemented and confirmed. So I remember that in one of the interview also they asked this question. If you are using Solman tool for change request management, what statuses that you observe in the request for change transaction? But that guy not able to answer that question. So these are the status that we observe here. And they ask one more question: who will usually create this request for change? So this request for change is to create that new requirement, right? So 99% of the time it will be done by the user only. Sometimes we also create on behalf of the user as well, but most of the times it will be done by user only. Okay, so if you observe here, we have different tabs here: details, text, rich text, scope, solution documentation, checklist, and change history. So not all the tabs are mandatory here, but few only. Okay, so first of all, we need to fill all these fields here. So title. So what's the requirement of this title? Create, for example, create new pivot type. This is the requirement of this ticket. Create new pivot type. Okay. And next thing is the project manager. In some cases, we see change manager here. The field name might be different in some other cases. Change manager, project manager. Okay, so once we create this task, this will go for an validation to that manager only. So he will be validating all the changes that what we are going to do, and he will approve if everything's fine. If something is not right, he will reject it and he will say the reason for that. We need to work accordingly. Okay, so we need to mention project manager here is a mandatory field. So let's search one manager here. Okay, so for example, I will take this Michael, and you see here category section. Here we have one different options in the category like applications, IT infrastructure, project, and end user workspace. Let me go with IT infrastructure, and in category 2 I can go with databases. In category 3 I don't get any option here. Fine, so like this we need to fill this category section. And priority, so we need to specify what kind of a request it is. It's a low priority, is a very urgent request, or medium, or very high. So as of now I'll keep it as medium. And creation time, date will come automatically, no need to enter here. And coming to actual release, we know that every project has their different kind of release cycles will be there. If you take my project, I mean in my previous project, the release will happen every Wednesday. So it's a weekly release happens. Apart from weekly release, quarter release also will happen. Like this, we have releases available. In some projects, releases happens 2 days once or 3 days once, or every day also releases happens. Release happens only over weekends, like this. So change cycle referring to that release cycle only. So click this actual release. and you can input. If you know that release cycle branches means, you can input that. If you don't know, simply search. And currently in system, two cycles has been maintained. One is a continual cycle, and another is major release. So major release might happen yearly once or quarterly once or 6 months once. It depends on their setup. So as of now, I'll go with a continual cycle. So after adding this release cycle, it is updated with all other remaining fields like change cycle, solution, branch, everything comes here. Okay, so if you have any reference ticket, then you can specify this one here. If you have anything, if you don't means, you can leave it blank. Okay, I'm going to change that project manager. So let me keep it my username only. Currently, whichever I logged in now. I will add that username here and I will search now. Okay, I will get this in detail about the first name, last name, employee ID and all. I will double click here and now it's added. And you see everything has been done now. Okay, so now I will say this one. Okay, now the request has been created, but still remember that the request is just created. That means the request will be with the requester. Who is the requester here? Agatha Baur. Right, he is the requester and he is the project manager. That means the requester will be having this ticket with him only now. So he needs to change the status to next level validation. If you see the status here, the next status is validation. So the status should be changed to validation. Then only this will go to the project manager to validate all the data that is input here. Okay, fine. So what I will do, I will scroll up and you see there is one button called actions. Click this actions and here it is saying that set change request to validation. I will change the status. Okay, now what it is saying, action set change request to validation will be performed when saving. Okay, now save this. Okay, now the request is in validation status. Okay, so what will happen in the validation status and what will be the next step will be discussed in the next video. That's it from this video, guys. We can catch up in the next video. Bye for now.